Alright, first time unedited deck building. I've been commissioned to build Gor Muldrak, Amphinologist. I've had a few days to just kind of like think over rough ideas for what I want to do, but I haven't actually built the deck yet. Um, as I ask them about pet cards and stuff that they want to keep in the deck, and they're mostly wanting clones and exchange effects or their pet cards. Exchange effects are actually kind of cool because you can create the 4/3 salamander and then like give it away and steal someone's good thing. Um, I definitely like the idea of that. I'm deciding if I want to do a companion, adding Karuga to the list. It's only 19 cents. I think I'll probably just set it as companion for now, and then we'll go from there. Basically, would just limit us to 3 or greater for our mana value, which should be fine. I'm not sure if I want to be ramping into Gor Muldrak. I think I'd rather just play tap land, natural, uh, maybe play a 2-drop, I don't know. Um, and then play Gor Muldrak. So, alright, let's start with some exchange effects. So ledger domain is one, for example. Exchange control of target artifact or creature and another target permanent that shares one of those types with it. I'll go ahead and throw this in here and let's look at the tags. Exchange control. I'll go ahead and open that up and then we'll do ID. It is blue and green. And we'll do USD less than 1.5. And then sort by EDH rec rank. Shifting Grift is good. And you may be wondering why I'm not doing this in the actual search bar. And that's mostly just because this lets me sort by EDH rec rank, whereas this does not. Or at least if it does, I don't know how to yet. Modify memory is pretty sick. I I like exchanging people's commanders. um, and that just kind of throws them off a lot. Um, let's see. I'm not that. You know what? Let me actually look at my um Atris stack. Uh, which should be $25 Toto. Enable tags. Let's see. Exchange steel. I'm just going to go ahead and copy this over and then we'll weed out the ones we don't want. Yep, that's illegal. Remove one. Remove one. Remove one. That's also illegal. Cool. Exchange control of target non-land permanent you control and target permanent an opponent controls that shares a card type with it. Yeah, that's fine. Actually, that's whenever it becomes untapped. Attacks aren't going to be very good in this stack. Also, creatures in general aren't super good, so I'll move that to considering for now. Gin of Infinite Deceits. I kind of like this as just like an engine. You play Jin and then each turn you can exchange. We'll keep it for now and then see how things go. Perplexing Chimera is $2. That's crazy. $2.50. That's going to the considering pile for now. Switcheroo, yeah, that's fine. Shifting Grift, yep. Modify memory, ledger domain. Mass manipulation. 4, 5, 6, 6 or 8 mana to be able to steal something. It's kind of a lot. I'll throw it in considering for now. Shifting Grove technically does turn off Karuga. I'm not gonna entirely stick to Karuga and have my heart set on it, but it is just an interesting thing that we can explore possibly. Wrong turn. Target opponent gains control of target creature. This card is so funny for once again just taking someone's commander or synergy piece and then just giving it to someone else. And you can obviously make a deal with this as well. You can be like, hey, look, I'll give you this guy's commander, just don't give it back and don't attack me with it or something like that. And I feel like the terms on that are pretty favorable for both parties. You control enchanted permanent, you control. Yeah, these are just theft effects. I do like Corrupted Conscience. It seems pretty good here. I like, in fact, the I guess the issue is actually getting in for the damage once we have it. Either way, it can still be used to just steal something, so I think this is getting kept. Yeah, we'll come back to these. Now, let's see about clones. Does this work? Yeah. Okay, cool. Alright. I mean, we have generic clone. I like progenitor mimic. Yeah. Mirror Hall mimic's also good. They were preferably wanting non-legendary clones, so that way we can make copies of the commander. I'm not sure it's super good, because the commander itself, it's interesting. We have protection from the salamanders. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and look at, if I just look at Sakashima of 1,000 Faces, is there a tag for non-legendary? Da, da. I don't think there is. Oh, Mirror Gallery. Okay. Is this... It's a tag. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Okay, that's probably just because it shuts off the legend rule. Let's see about how it goes with just non-legendary copy. There's, what is it? Irenesis's Vile Duplication. That's $7. Oh my gosh. uh, it might just be copy legendary. Okay, yeah, I think that's it. So let's do this. I'm gonna blue green USD less than 2. I think I'm gonna copy this. I'll also add format commander. I'll copy this for future searches. What is this? Just target creature you control. Each other creature you control becomes a copy of it until end of turn. That's kind of funny because you can get ton of uh, a ton of salamanders that way. Because if you have the least amount of creatures, let's say we have 3 for instance, then, and this is each player who controls the fewest creatures creates a 4/3. So this isn't going to change the math on it, but if we do this and turn them all into Gor Muldrak, we'll create a ton of salamanders, right? Echoing equation. Double major's good. 179. Yeah, that's fine. Has to be on the sack. I think well, no. Let's not do that just because it's a dead card later on. If we draw this anytime other than when we're casting the commander, or like we go to cast it, then it just does nothing. Um, I mean, I guess technically we could copy our creatures, but we kind of don't want to be running that many creatures, so it seems like a very mid decision. Except his name is Chameleon Master of Disguise. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Chameleon Master of Disguise. 93 cents. Yeah, sure. So real 3, whenever you next cast a creature spell this turn, copy it except the copy isn't legendary. So you play this and then you play Gor Muldrak. Choose a card name whenever a card with a chosen name deals combat damage to a player this turn, draw a card. Ew. I don't know. This seems kinda mid. Whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value equal to his power, copy that spell except it's not legendary. Then put a 1/1 counter on him. It's alright, I guess. This seems good. 5 mana, you can do the thing where you create a copy of him, and then you can also choose to create a copy of something someone else controls. Possibly getting like their commander or something. Also, this is just really funny, as an Avatar fan. Ember Island production. And then whenever you cast a historic spell, copy it, except the copy isn't legendary. This ability triggers only once each turn. That actually can go really crazy because it's not just the commander, it's also artifacts and other legendaries. I like this. I like this. I'll go ahead and add them. There's no guarantee that we're keeping any of these cards, but it is nice to just go ahead and add them for now, and then we can shave it all down later. Let's look at some budget veggies real fast. If yeah, we'll look at removal first. Alright. Skyfall search. ID blue. Oh wait, I can just copy. Hehe, that's right. Cool. We're not that worried about the creature stuff because we kind of want to have the lowest amount of creatures, but we can still take a look. Uh, Blade Growth prototype is just amazing. I can't not add it, right? This is just peak. Such a funny and good card. Bane of Progress is pretty good. This deck does actually reward us for going tall. So something like a Mana Gorger Hydra would be good. How expensive is it? 60 cents. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Colossal Sky Turtle. Activatable from hand? It can't really be counterspelled, and you can also have an instant speed regrowth. I think that's fine. Yeah. This isn't all removal, by the way. That's within budget. This is just some stuff that I put together in a list. Stuff that I thought was cool. River's Rebuke is amazing. I love this card. It's such a good political tool to be like, hey, I could use this on you. I would rather use it on this person, the person who's in the lead. Can I just get you to not attack me or something like that? A lot of times they'll agree because they also want the person in the lead to get bounced. It gets a little tricky if they don't agree because they can just be like, "No, do it anyways." Like you need to stop them, but it's generally best whenever most people are like at parity and you're just hitting the person who is poising themselves to pop off the most. Whelming Wave. Probably not, because that bounces uh it bounces our tokens and stuff, and it's only creatures. Like I'll take a Devastation Tide. Why is Devastation Tide not in here? It needs to be. I think I may also take this Baral's Expertise because it can go ham with an Archaeomancer. It's Scryfall's not responding. Ugh, that's annoying. Let's do this. What if I search as well? Yeah, I'll just go ahead and add this in while we're working on that. Okay, well, this is fun. Let's reload. Okay, and we're back. Cool. Let me do that. Alright. Oh, hello? It's just loading. Cool. Okay, Devastation Tide is now in here. I love this card. It's amazing. If we're doing that, we should also do Invasion of Arcavios. Uh, so that way, this is a pretty good package to where this can search your deck or graveyard for Devastation Tide, and then you can use Devastation Tide to bounce this back to hand, and then you just kind of keep playing those for as much mana as you have. Alright, as far as instant speed stuff, I haven't decided if we want to do like what kind of removal suite we want. I do want Mystic Confluence either way. It's pretty good. I think I will do Fade from History. It's 129. That's fine. I'm a little bit hesitant on Rampage of the Clans because this can create a whole bunch of 3/3s, and I'm not sure we'll be able to fend them all off. How about counter magic and stuff? We'll wrap back to this. We'll see what we've got and work from there. Oblivion Stone, yes. Uh, on that note, let's do Nevinyrral's Disc. Good cards. Alright. Ooh, Tellurian Contempt. This card is amazing. I love it so much. When it enters, you put a rejection counter on each creature your opponents control. Beginning of your end step, for each opponent, choose up to one target creature they control with a rejection counter on it. That creature's owner puts it on the top or bottom of their library. So either they don't get it back, or they have to spend their next draw getting it back. And then they still replay it, and this is for each opponent. So you get to do that for 3 things per turn. It's bonkers. I love that. And especially if you bounce it back with like a Devastation Tide or something like that, it can get insane. Because then you just replay it. It's awesome. I love this card so much. Alright, so we'll come back to this. No, not this. Alright, EDH, budget veggies. We'll go to budget packages next. So we got the Devastation Tide, Invasion of Arcavios 1. We're not in the colors for these. That's fine. Transit Mage. Are we doing a blink thing? I don't think so. If we were doing blink, then I would do Transit Mage, go get Conjurer's Closet, blink Transit Mage, and then you can also go get Golden Argosy for even more blink. But I don't think we're doing that this time. Although, we could do some stuff with Timeless Witness. That seems pretty good, because you can use Timeless Witness with the Baral's expertise, and it's also just another good thing to bounce. I think this is probably going to be like a bounce and recast deck, because then stuff isn't committed to the battlefield, and so we can still trigger Gor Muldrak because it's getting removed from play, if that makes sense. And since we can also stack the triggers on end step, that can still work with Tolarian Contempt and other stuff like that. Yeah, I think I like this. Okay. Woodland Bellower, Fierce Empath, and Deadeye Navigator. This is expensive. Let's update to cheapest to see how much it actually is. $6? Yikes. Not doing that one for right now. Yeah, this is neat. I don't think we'll need any more. Okay. Let's go to card advantage next. So we could just stick with, oh, Karuga draws us a bunch of cards. I don't know. I don't know if we're keeping Karuga, and Karuga's also a ton of mana and not... I don't like putting all my eggs in one basket that way, because if Karuga gets removed, then... oh no. We're kinda cooked. I think I do want Karuga, though. Especially if we're doing this bounce sub-theme, to where we're gonna do, like, Devastation Tide stuff and returning things to hand. We can bounce and replay Karuga, and that can be a decent draw engine there. So I'm not entirely against Karuga here, now that this is a little bit more flushed out. I'm gonna start tagging things though. I'll do clone slash theft slash what was the exchange? That way I can just kind of throw a bunch of stuff in there. Removal. Yep. Okay. So this can go there. That there. This will go there. We can debatably count the theft and exchange stuff as removal. That's kind of fair. The only issue is it's really overcosted in its sorcery speed. So I think I probably don't want to do that. I'll keep them as separate categories, kind of mentally note that this is somewhat removal, maybe like half a card worth of removal, but I don't want to fully commit it, and if this deck ends up over on removal anyways, that's kind of fine. Removal's amazing in this game. Alright, I will just tag this as removal and not draw, even though it can draw. I think that's fine. That's removal. This is really good as the clone. This... I'll create a tag for recursion as well. Recursion and then removal. Timeless Witness is recursion. And a Gorger. Uh, I'll circle back to that one. Chameleon. Clone, stuffed, exchange. Wrong turn. I think this is a deck that I don't run wrong turn in. I'll circle back to that decision later, but I think that might be right. Removal, clone stuffed exchange, clone stuffed exchange. Yep. Yep. Removal, removal. And then I think I'm gonna label this as cards, because while it's not directly card advantage, I'm just going to do an overall tag for it for just tutors and draw, that kind of thing, to where we're actually improving the quality of our hand. I like to define card advantage that way because I think that's more in the spirit of what it is, and it's more all-encompassing. I don't want like card advantage, tutors, all these different tags. It's a lot. I like conciseness. Alright. Looking here, Confounding Conundrum is a really funny card, especially in CDH, but in casual, it's not the best. It's still alright for sure, and it can definitely hit the big mana decks, but I'm not sure if we care about that. We'll see. Generic. We've got Arcanus is good, just expensive. I feel like if we stick an Arcanus, though, that's gonna draw a lot of attention our way. This deck does not deal with attention very well unless we're already doing removal and bounce shenanigans. We kind of need to play for second and let other people take the heat. We can't really afford stuff like that. Hilda's Crown of Winter is really good here, especially since we're giving other people creatures. I think this one goes in. Speaking of giving creatures, I want to real quick look and see if we can do like a force combat thing. What is it? Isn't there... Okay, if we just do Dantes. What is it? Forced attacker. Ooh. Oh wait, no, sorry, we're not in the colors. What am I thinking? Force attacker. Okay, there we go. This is more what I'm after. Okay, what do we have? Biden of Thassa. That's pretty good actually. And this is draw. I'm not against that. Because we can activate it on one of our opponent's turns. Probably the one before, probably the one right after us, I would imagine. Make them attack. Since their shield's down, everyone else can attack them, and then we can also attack them and draw cards. I think I like this. Biden of Thassa. And if they try to attack us, we've got the salamanders and all that, so they act as like a pseudo fog, kinda. We're mostly wanting people to just make use of the salamanders to kill each other because that's really good, right? We're giving out a bunch of power. We might as well have people knock each other out with them. Only during blocker step on an opponent's turn. Remove all attacking after this phase. There's additional each of those creatures. Okay. This is a funny pseudo fog. I don't think we're doing that though. Enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. The monarch controls enchanted creature. That's interesting actually. A theft effect that incentivizes attacks. Like we can target something that's not like the absolute best thing on the board and then let it just kind of get swindled around like someone's commander. That could be kind of funny. We're also introducing the monarchy. I'm not entirely sure of that. I'll go ahead and add it and we can cut it later. What? Fealty to the realm. Okay. Cool. There we go. Enters, each opponent creates a 1/1. Spells your opponents cast that target it. It costs 3 more. Yeah, that's nothing burger. Okay. I don't think we're gonna be getting many more good cards. Target creature and opponent controls attacks you this turn if able. Okay. Oh, yeah, we're out anyways. Okay, cool. Slight detour. We took a look. I'm happy with that. Hilda's Crown of Winter. Very good. We could do Sphinx of the Second Sun. Do we have many instants? We only have 2 right now. Eh. Although, actually, if I flesh out my mana base more, this could be pretty good. Ghostly Pilfer, I don't even care about the Nambo. Ooh, okay, never mind, that's $1.50. Yikes. Gotta stop promoting cards. All my good budget cards are getting expensive. Oh. I was gonna say I don't even care about, like, it giving more creatures to Gor Muldrak and making it harder for us to benefit from, because it's such a good card. I'll go ahead and add Sphinx of the Second Sun, and we'll go ahead and start working on our mana base now, because that's probably where we're going to be using a lot of our mana, our leftover mana at instant speed. Forest, island, cool. And then if we do full oracle, draw, type land. Uh, let's see. Arch of Orezka? Yes, for sure. For each other town you control, attacks you draw a card. Could be neat. I'm not that big of a fan of it though. I don't like that it can be removed. Bonder's Enclave is that good? I forget. Only 3 power. The salamanders are 4/3s. That's what it is. Okay. Full Oracle draw. Type land. That's what it was. Okay. Bonder's Enclave. That's good. I don't like that this sacks and is only a one-time thing. That is $2. Kitchen, very good. I love these cards so much because you can hold up your mana and then investigate and then draw, and it's +1. It is 7 mana because you pay 4. You tap the land itself, which could have made mana, and you pay 2 to sack the clue, but it's still just so nice to have, and the fact that it's at worst just a guild gate is very nice. Very, very good. Uh, okay. Oh yeah. Mariposa military base, probably the best effect that I can think of for the draw card, because it can enter tapped if you want it to, and then it's got the reduction on the activated ability. Activate only if you have no cards in hand. I'll add it and then we'll see later if that's going to be realistic or not. Voldarin Estate. Create a blood token. I don't think we care about blood. Uh, we're not really wanting to discard. It doesn't put us up in cards, which is my main concern. Put a time counter on this. Remove 12 and exile it. Shuffle your graveyard and hand into your library, then draw 7. We can choose when to do this, but the fact that it takes 12 time counters, I don't think it's gonna happen that often. Waterlogged Grove is good here, only 59 cents. We'll go ahead and add, yeah, let's just go all the way back up. We'll look at the EDH regs for the lands, because there's like Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, that kind of thing. Hinterland Harbor's fine. Oh yeah, the main theme on EDH rec for this commander is, oh yeah, Beast Within. Is Beast Within not on my budget removal, or did I just overlook it? Do do do. Instance. Bonkers. Okay. It does need some updating. But that's fine. Okay. Where were we? Flushing out the mana base. Beast Within's fine here. You have a Maya Coast. Yeah. The main theme was to just turn other things into salamanders, which this actually isn't horrible. Um, like change their creature type so that way like it fogs us because us and the things we have protection from it, and then it's one-sided damage. It's cute. Um, I don't really want to play into that though. It feels a little too gimmicky and too monolithy. Like if we don't have our commander and it's like locked down with like imprisoned in the moon or something like that, we just kind of get rolled. Oh yeah, is that in here? Ignore me. Da-da. Enters the battlefield as a copy of a creature an opponent controls, except it has other creatures with the same name as this creature are goaded. It's $5 though. Flooded Grove. That's filter lands are good. Semi-growth chamber. I like bounce lands because they count as 2 lands in your opening hand. So it increases the consistency whenever you actually take a look at opening hands for having enough lands in hand. Enters or attacks, put an everything counter on each of. That's not a land. I'm not looking at that. Temple of Mystery, sure. Do do do. Snarls. I used to be big on snarls. I think I'm kinda low on them right now, which is fine. Okay, we'll probably call this here. Okay, let's look at some other lists. Oh yeah, we didn't even finish budget card advantage. That's right. Draw a card for each creature you control with power 3 or greater. That's not bad actually, especially since we're making like our that's at minimum like our commander and then the salamander if we only make one, and a hippo if we cast this. It's 7 mana, but um I'm not against it because I think it can be pretty valuable being able to just draw a bunch of cards all at once. Wind Raider Sphinx. Whenever a creature with flying attacks, you may draw a card. That's not just for us. Not just our creatures. So that's pretty good. But I'm not sure I want it in this deck. Draw a card for each creature you control. Yeah. Shamanic Revelation's amazing. It also draws us a ton of gains us a ton of life, because we'll have a bunch of power 4 or greater things. Collective Unconscious is also pretty good. I'm not sure I like it that much, just because Mouth to Feed is broken up into a 3-drop and a 4-drop, whereas this is all at once 6. Counterpoint Karuga. I think I'll not. I think the cutoff here is Shamanic Revelation is a better card. Okay. Tireless Tracker. I love this card normally, because clues are amazing, but I'm not sure I'll run it here. Bonder's Enclave. Yeah, I don't want to introduce the Monarchy, I don't think. Although, actually, the Monarchy can kind of stimulate attacks. And then we can make a deal to just throw it around. Maybe that's what we do. Monarchy might actually be a decent play here, but we would have to politic it. We would have to be like, hey, I'll let you hit me with a 1/1 to get this. But then what's stopping our opponents from also doing that? Hey, I'll let you hit me with a 1/1 for it. It's only good if people are greedy, and we're the only one that's not. And I don't think that's realistic. Okay. Dryad's Revival. Do we want regrowth effects? Seasons Past is pretty good. $1.62 though. We'll circle back to that. I'll throw it in for now. It's such a good card. And we'll evaluate it later. Okay. Archaeomancer, we can still add it in. It's pretty good. Cold-Eyed Selkie, I don't think, because we're not really making things bigger, although we kind of should be. Regal Behemoth. Regal Behemoth is a very good card, but if we lose the Monarchy, we're gonna have a very hard time getting it back. Alright. Rishkar's Expertise draws us a ton of cards, and then we also get to play a 5-drop, but for $1.29, I think I just don't worry about that here. Fearsome Path. If we're not running Deadeye Navigator or Woodland Bellower, I think I'm off this a little bit. We could use Primal Command, go search up Timeless Witness, bring back Primal Command, and then go tutor for something else. Very mana intensive. That's 14 mana to get out Timeless Witness and like for free, I guess. Not that big on this. Analyze the pollen. That could be sick. Could be a better version of this. There are the other added modes of removal, life gain, and grave hate. I think I'll probably not do that for now though. Temio's Journal, investigate every upkeep. Maybe. Probably not. the reason I'm considering these cards, keep in mind, is I'm working under the assumption that the game is going to go relatively late, especially with removal, and people just naturally trying to pillow fort, right? Because, oh, hey, I get a 4/3. I can't really swing it in at anybody, so I'm just gonna hold it back. I also don't want to get hit. So if the game goes late, then that means that this can give us a lot of value, and I know the rate doesn't look very good on paper. It's 7 mana draw 1, 9 mana draw 2. That's not great. Sorry, 7 mana plus 0, because then it just replaces the Tamiyo's Journal that we drew originally. Um, it there are decks for this. I like this card in certain decks. I don't think this is one of them, unfortunately, but I was just looking and seeing if this would be a good one or not. What creature type is Timeless Witness? Human Shaman. So it doesn't work for wizard cycling. That's fine. Glorious Sunrise. No. Step through is decent. How many wizards are we running? We have none. Okay. Never mind. Because normally you can go and you can step through, get Archaeomancer. Archaeomancer, you can bring it back and then go search for other stuff. And then you have Archaeomancer on field. Which is a really good package, a really good enabler. Um, yeah, I don't I don't think we need much more, especially if we're going to Karuga Companion, which I think I'm liking the look of a lot more right now, just because a lot of our stuff is tending to be 3 and more anyways. And I'm not that worried about getting the commander out super quickly. Like, getting it out a turn earlier doesn't seem super necessary for me at this moment. Uh, add 15. Oh yeah, I gotta switch these printing so they don't count towards the cost. Only the basic lands. Only the non-snow basic lands do not count towards budget for me. Oh yeah, EDH, budget veggies, non-basics. If I throw that in there, any other good ones here? Do do do. Okay. Lair of the Hydra. I don't think so. Scavenger Grounds. Yeah, let's get a Scavenger Grounds in here. That's just a pretty good card. Endless Sands, Buried Ruin. Do we have artifacts we care about right now? I don't think so. Let's see. Living Stone, Biden, Never Rolls, Hilda's Crown, and then where's the fifth one? Artifact Creature, maybe? Oh, Bladecraft Prototype. Yeah, I don't think we care about Buried Ruin. I'd rather have colors than that. Rogue's Passage. Yeah. I'm thinking what we might be able to do is we do somewhat like a land tutor type thing where we can go find Rogue's Passage, and then we can also just have a big dude, which actually that would mean Ulvenwald Hydra's pretty good. Ooh, and Realm Seekers. This could be a perfect Realm Seekers deck because we can use Realm Seekers to go get uh the Rogue's Passage, and then we can also have the commander just act as like a almost free um fog because we just make blockers. I okay. I'm starting to see a game plan now. Cool. Uh Ulvenwald Hydra is also able to just get massive. Manigorger Hydra can get massive. Yeah, okay, I like this. Um, what was the... There's a card that makes Power Stones. I forget what it's called. Um, oh, Power Stone type land USD less than 2. Let's see what we got. Hall of Tagsin, that's right. Hall of Tagsin, I I know that some people don't like Power Stones because most of your spells that you cast are uh non-artifacts, especially in a deck that's only boasting 5 right now. But it's so good with like activated abilities. You can use them for just random things like this Mariposa military base, Arch of Araska. You can use them for activated abilities, and that's why I like them just so much. Realm Seekers, for example, like Colossal Sky Turtle, right? Like these things are just so good. Um, I'll put this in. Let me tag some of this stuff real fast. Cards. Seasons past can also go in cards. I mean, it can also... I'll throw it in recursion as well. The only reason I'm not doing just recursion is because it gets back so many cards. It gets back more than one, which is where I think the line gets drawn for me. Infant Mutineer, we'll throw that in removal. Uh, Beast Within... Is there a land that clones or something like that? I don't remember. I think there's one that turns into a land. What's the of the frost, right? ID blue green. I think its mana value is 5. Uh, yeah, Marite of the Frost. You may have it enter as a copy of a permanent you control, except it's legendary and snow in addition to its other types. Okay, so it can copy lands and it's going to be snow no matter what, but it is not actually just a land itself. This isn't tutorable as a land, which is fine. That's okay. Um, Speaking of tutorable, we probably should actually add in the one guy that can get 6 drops. What was his name again? Fierce Empath. Yes. Because now that we have a game plan, we can use Fierce Empath to go get our Realm Seekers. Which, for instance, if you guys have never played with Realm Seekers, this thing enters as like a 17 plus power creature almost like every time. It's crazy because players want cards in their hands, right? That's where they get their options inherently. So I it's just bonkers. If you don't believe me, just trust me. It's amazing. And the fact that this goes and gets Rogue's Passage. I love it so much. Game plan in a can. Alright. Uh, now that we have things a little bit more figured out, I think I'm okay making a few cuts. Fealty to the realm, I'm okay. I'll throw it in here for now. Wrong turn, yeah, I'll go ahead and cut that. I'm not feeling that super strongly right now. I think I am more sold on the Karuga companion, so I think I will considering the shifting grift real fast. Because Karuga's good. If you have nothing to do with your mana, now you do. Okay. And by the way, I know I run a lot of lands. It's it's just so good to be able to always hit your land drop and also be able to mulligan a little bit more aggressively to find what you need because you have more lands, right? Most people look at a hand and they're like lands and spells. That's all I need. But It depends. You kind of may want a little bit more than just lands and spells. Maybe a little bit of specificity. And you can kind of have that at a higher land count. So for now, we'll tentatively sit at 44 and we'll go from there later. I'll go ahead and start tagging these though. Lands. Yep. Okay. And if need be, I'm fine with cutting some of these uh, dual lands that tap for either color because we're only in a two-color deck. It's not that necessary. I like to have a few, but if it's contributing too much to the budget, we are fine cutting them. Lands, cards. Yep. Da -da. Lands, cards. I think we're not going to run out of cards in hand, so I think Seagate Wreckage is not good here. I'll just go ahead and move it to considering. Okay. Hall of Tags in. Create the Power Stone. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I'll just throw it in lands for now. I'm just gonna throw these in lands because I'm not worried about creating entire categories for things that there's not much of for right now. If I do come back and add more ramp and mana and stuff like that, then we'll assess it from there. I'll throw Rogue's Passage in game plan because that's definitely what it's for, right? Sphinx of the Second Sun. I think we keep this because at minimum this is untap again. Another untap. Or not untap, draw. It's another draw step. Um which I know for 8 mana you probably want a little bit more, but it's not bad. It can actually be quite strong, especially with those lands. Uh, let's see if we have anything that references upkeep other than just the Sphinx. Okay, we don't. So we don't benefit from upkeep triggers. Not the end of the world. Yeah, I'll keep this on tag for now because I don't know if we're keeping it. Okay. Cool, we have a little bit of an idea what we're doing here. Let's take a gander through budget closers. Okay. Whenever an artifact creature you control deals combat damage. These go wide. I don't think I really want to go wide though because of the commander. I think I mostly want to go tall. Latent Thievery is really funny and really good. I think I might do that. I'll throw it in, tentatively. Because I'm curious how much is Agent of Treachery nowadays. Only $2. That's not bad. It's actually quite good for its effect. Okay. Budget Graveyard Hate. Let's see what we got. Scavenging Ooze can be good because this can get really big. And this Graveyard Hate, it doesn't get massive though. We have to pour a bunch of mana into it, and if there's not creatures in graveyards, then it's kinda mid. Okay. Exile each opponent's graveyard. Wait, that's the wrong color. Blessed Respite. I think I will put in Blessed Respite. Blessed Respite? I don't know. It's very good. If you've never played with fogs before, they're they're so strong, and I don't think very many people realize it, but they're so good. All right, we've looked through. I guess let's look through this. And for the record, before we look through this list, I want to give the disclaimer. These are not actual like staples, but these are just good cards that I didn't really know where else to put. Man, I wish we were in like red or black right now. Those favorite colors. Uh, but we're not. It's okay. No hidden Alexios. Galta's actually pretty sick here. And Primeval Protector. Primeval Protector's really good because this can make all of our salamanders just a little bit bigger. Not that we need it because like our commander already breaks parity with the salamanders attacking and blocking. Uh, but yeah, I think it's pretty good. Primeval Protector, that can go in for sure. Galta. Galta's just a 2 mana 12/12. I think that's good. Clone Legion. Clone Legion can be very good, especially since we're giving out salamanders. But it's 9 mana. 9 mana is quite a lot in for one payment, you know? So let's not do that for now. Oh, Tome of Legends. Good card. I don't think I'm... Do I run it? It's more draw. You can play it on turn 2. No, you can't. Karuga. That's right. Cannot play the 2-drop. Okay. This is fine. Frontier Siege. This card's goated because it doesn't say once per turn. So this, you almost always pick cons with this, by the way. So this is each of your main phases, first main phase and second main phase, which is very good. That a 4 mana enchantment gives you 4 mana a turn. Beginning of your upkeep, create a token that's a copy of enchanted artifact. Then if you control 8 or more artifacts with the same name as one another, you win the game. Very strong card because you can just put this on a treasure token. Or sorry, not put it on a treasure token. You can put it on anything, and then if you have like 8 treasure tokens, then you just win the game. I don't think we make artifact tokens that much. I mean, we investigate, but we're going to be popping those for draws. And even then, that's just a mana sink, so not worried about that. Gavel of the Righteous is 2 mana, so Karuga says no. Alright. I kind of want to look through some of my deck lists and see what other cards I have that can facilitate this, because this deck runs a lot like the Realm Seekers thing that I was just talking about. Hunter's Insight, that can be incredibly funny if we actually connect, but the floor on this card isn't super high. I mean, we can swing in with our salamanders, which is good. We swing in with the salamanders and then we probably draw 4, but eh. I don't think we need to worry much more about draw. And we kind of already have to be doing something for that to work. Untappers. Roar of Challenge. Do we care about this? It functionally gives unblockable. We can put it on a salamander. swing with a salamander, everything has to block that, and then connect with everything else. Salamander still lives because, of course it does. Um, oh wait. No, all of our stuff is protected from salamanders, not the salamanders. Well, okay, yeah. It would still live because of indestructible. So the indestructible would mean it still lives. But this is mostly saying that the other salamanders aren't going to hurt my stuff. So I can still swing in. Interesting idea. Not entirely convinced on it, though. Sereth is kind of funny giving death touch to stuff, but I don't think that's that necessary here. Wilderness Reclamation goes pretty ham if we have a alchemist's refuge, but we don't. How much is alchemist's refuge? It's only 65 cents. Okay, I'm adding this. I think I like where this is going. This also turns on the Sphinx a little bit more. Okay. Yes, for sure. So this will go under lands and game plan. I'll make a mana category. I'll throw this under mana cards. Yeah, that seems fair. Primeval Protector, this can go under game plan, that's fine. Galta, that can go under game plan, yep. These things can't even be blocked by the salamanders. That's so strong. So good. Blatant Thievery. I'll throw this in the Clone Stuffed Exchange thing. Especially since if we're exchanging them, like they were saying, then we're giving them away. They can't even block our stuff. And if they attack us, they don't even do damage. That's pretty good, and we get stuff that also cannot be blocked by the salamanders. Yeah, okay. I'm seeing a vision here. I'm liking it. Okay. I think I do want Primal Command then. So we have the option of doing Primal Command go get the Timeless Witness, but what I'm thinking more of is we just use Primal Command, go get Realm Seekers or Ulvenwald Hydra. Realm Seekers is probably going to be bigger than Ulvenwald Hydra, so I think I'd rather do that. What was the card I was just searching for? Primal Command. Yeah, I think we use Primal Command, we go get Realm Seekers. Realm Seekers enters, it's massive, but and then we can use it to go get Rogue's Passage or something like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'll stick this under. This is a little bit of Graveyard Hate, which is fine. Um, this most times is going to be removal and card draw. The life gain can definitely be nice, and the Grave Hate is nice. I almost wonder if I should remove the Bluster Spite. Actually, if they kill Gor Muldrak, especially at instant speed, we can be kind of cooked. So I think I want to keep it, at least for now. We can also use Realm Seekers to go get Alchemist's Refuge. And realistically, we should have time to do all of this, because, I mean, we're running much slower than everyone else, right? Everyone else is going to be playing much stronger cards. They're going to be getting up and going much faster. I think I cut that. So yeah, I'm okay with this. Let's see what we have for creature tutors, other than just what was his name? The Fierce Empath? Was that his name? I can't remember. Yeah, Fierce Empath. Okay. Function tutor dash creature, and then do this. I might actually lower the budget now, since I don't care that much about this. I think I'm starting to get to the point to where we can tighten things up a little bit, because we're at $22. I think they were more looking for exchange effects than just theft, which is it's totally fine. They want clones to be able to put more salamanders on board. And then they want exchange effects to give away their salamanders and get really big stuff, which sounds good. Sounds like a plan. Do we have any wizards? No. Okay. I know I looked earlier, I was just seeing if we added any more. Primal Command, that's good. First Empath already running it. If there are 4 more card types among your graveyard, you can search for a creature instead. Or land. Just, like, the tutor gets significantly better. Are we likely to do that, though? Creature, sorcery... Not really. Yeah, I don't think that gets turned on very much. Okay. Yisan. No. We don't want Yisan because of Karuga. Analyze the pollen. I think Analyze the pollen might actually be worth here. I know I wasn't looking at it too heavily earlier, but that's kind of fine. Because this, now that I think about it, our curve is pretty high. I think I'm also fine cutting this. I don't want that. Yeah, our curve is pretty high. So having the collect evidence 8 is not going to be the hardest thing in the world to do. Okay. Search for something with Death Touch, Hexproof, Reach, or Trample. I'm pretty sure Ulvenwald Hydra has Reach, right? Yeah. That's 3 mana. It does also put a body on the field, which is not not ideal. Never cast a green creature spell. That each have mana value X or less and reveal them. An opponent chooses 2 of them. Shuffle your library. Or shuffle them into the library and put the rest on the battlefield. That's not good, because we'd have to have 9 mana all at once. 8 mana all at once. That we could do 5 mana, curve out into... But that's when it dies, though. Nah. This sucks. These tutors aren't amazing. But that's fine, we're on a budget. And especially since I slashed the budget down to only $1 per card. Because I don't really want to be paying more than that for a tutor. I'm okay with it. Alright, we are doing some wilderness reclamation stuff. Okay. Let's think. What are some other threats we can do besides this? What if I just go to EDH Rec real fast? Let's see what some other similar cards are. Those aren't very good. Ulvenwald Hydra. Let's see if we can see some big stuff. Okay. Multani can be big. Also has built-in recursion. Titania. Titania doesn't do anything here. Avenger can actually be decent. I think we might go Avenger just because it doesn't matter if we give away a salamander once we're already at Avenger territory. Although we don't really have many ways to trigger it. We're not running the fetch lands, like this isn't a Togo deck. So it's not amazing. I think I kind of like drawing into stuff using Karuga and Gor Muldrak. Okay. Removal. How much instant speed removal do we have? We have 1, 2, 3. 3's kind of low. I want more than that. Do we care about counterspells? Counterspells can be decent. Let's look through here. Moxfield, EDH, budget veggies, budget removal. Okay. Mostly bounces and counterspells are like mostly all we're gonna find, but that's okay. I do like you come to a river. Yeah, because this also gives unblockable, which is something we want. I feel like this deck is... It has a weird feeling to where it can... Like, its main way to win is committing to the board and making use of the salamanders and exchanging and playing big tall dudes and then giving unblockable and swinging in. But then if we get removed, we can also just kind of fall to a backup plan of trying to just removal tribal everything. It's neat. It's neat. Reality Shift is pretty good. Yeah, let's go ahead and throw that in. Cause it's also exile, which is good. Target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. Counter target non-creature spell unless it's controlled pays 3. This probably does enough most of the time. Decisive Denial. Yeah, we'll throw that in there. Destroy target artifact, destroy target enchantment, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard, draw a card. Yeah. Yes. Let me look. Isn't there... I cannot remember the name of the really popular one. That's a lot like that. Return to Nature? Yeah, that's what it is. Uh, Return to Nature. I think I still will put in Heritage Reclamation. It's a good card. Okay. Oh, engulf the shore, now that we're circling back, can be really funny. Because we can bounce all of the salamanders and basically everything on board and then swing in with a big dude. But we would need a ton of islands for that to work. And I'm not too convinced we'll have enough. Not that big fan of a blink of an eye. Yeah, let's not worry about that for now. Let's look at some of the other decks. Run. Santos. Santos is a very fun deck. This is drawing at instant speed, which synergizes with... Actually, casting this on, like, with Realm Seekers is really funny. It synergizes with the Sphinx. It also can buff all of our salamanders, which you and permanents you control have protection from salamanders. That also means that our stuff is like pseudo unblockable to the salamanders. It just basically means that our stuff isn't going to get blocked by the stuff that I throw out and give away, but other people's stuff can still block. Steel Hellkite is a creature, so no. Da-da. What kind of removal did I have in this one, other than Tago and Death Touch? Hello? Okay, there we go. Can't believe Pilfer's, like, raised so much in price. Da-da. Oh yeah, that's right, the Slytherin counterspells. That would do it. Wash Away. I really like Wash Away. Um, okay. Other cards that might have fun stuff. Would Vivictus? Because there's green. We'll look. It might have some removal engines. Ulamog's Crusher, Terrestodon, Thorn Mammoth, Scion. Yeah. Lothlorien Blade. I think no. Probably not. Okay. What about the high power decks? Killing veggies. Sure, we'll look through here. Da-da. Sorry, this isn't very entertaining. But this is what I do to build the deck. Look through tons and tons of cards and filter out most of them. This has lots of regrowth stuff and replaying things. Azuri's Predation. Is Azuri's Predation really good? Wait, wait, because you make the 4/4s, the 4/4s fight the salamanders, but because they have protection from them, they just eat them. That's awesome. That's that's very good. I like that. Okay. Howl of the Night Pack. Put a 2/2 for each forest you control. No. And I'm just showing off all of my lists. That's crazy. Copy target activated or triggered ability you control from an enchantment source. Nope, that's not an enchantment. Dolly. We'll look at Golgari regrowth real fast. Okay, yeah, nothing much there. Okay, where are we at as far as ratios go? We've got some removal. Removal, removal. Yeah. This I'm gonna put under draw and gameplay. And then that's probably game plan and removal. Okay. So we've got 15 clone theft exchange effects. Okay. We can also do with just running normal clones as well. Oh man, what if we like cloned Ulvenwald Hydra and Realm Seekers? Is that win more? It might be. Or cloning a Managorger Hydra. Let's just let's see here. If we do function clone this. Clever Impersonator enters as anything, which is, I think, good enough. Ooh, not for $2, it's not. Alright. Mirror Mimic. I don't know if I added that one yet or not. If I didn't, I would like to. Because its backside is... I should not say anymore. That was not a very good way to start that sentence. I love the disturbed enchantment side of it. There we go. That is a more acceptable way to phrase that. Enters the battlefield as a copy of an artifact or creature you control. I don't like that it says you control. Progenitor Mimic. This creature isn't a token. Create a token that's a copy of this creature. I think that's very good. We'll go ahead and throw that in there. I know we're over budget right now. I'm not stressing it too much because I can always cut down. May have this creature enter as... Okay. Alright. So... We're sitting at 96 cards right now, and 55 cents over budget. I think I probably want to do a little bit more for mana. We... How much is the... I can't even remember the name of the card right now. That's crazy. It's 7 mana, tutor for everything. Boundless Realms. 243? That's crazy. Okay, well, that's not happening. We might run some mana doublers. if we look at Regal Behemoth, for instance, what tag is this? Mana increaser? Okay. Yeah, I think that's fair. It's fine. If we do that, and then sort like this, that's just gonna give us all ramp. That's, well, not all ramp. Okay, I guess those technically count, yeah. If you tap a permanent for mana, it produces twice as much of that mana instead. Mana reflection. The only issue with stuff like this is it's probably gonna draw a lot of attention and get removed. This is why I like Boundless Realms so much, man. It'll draw attention for sure, but it's not just gonna be easily removed. Regal Behemoth, they take the Monarch. Yeah. Whenever a player taps a land for mana, that player adds 1 mana to his or her mana pool of any type that land produced. Okay. Well, that was a short list. Okay. Here's what I'll do. I'll take a look at my... Hey, kitty kitty. I'll take a look at the green budget ramp and see what we have in here that I might be inclined to include. How many permanents do we actually have that are over 3 CMC? Maybe we do take out Karuga. Oh, yeah, that also messes with our removal here. Each other permanent you control with mana value. Your starting deck only contains cards with mana value 3 or greater and lands. Maybe we just stick to play a land a turn. Yeah, I think I can do that. I think that's probably fine. I mean, we could give up Karuga, but Karuga is just extra draw, and that's extra game plan. Or not game plan, but things to do, right? It gives us options. If, for instance, we're getting mana screwed, we got just, or not screwed, but flooded, we can just like get Karuga and then play it. Play Gor Muldrak, get Karuga to hand, play Karuga, draw 2 cards. Wait, no, draw 1 card. Each other permanent. Man, Karuga's not great. Karuga's not great for sure. Okay. Let's see what other removal we can get. ID, blue, I can just do this. Function, removal. There we go. And then if I'll do less than 1, and then it's gotta be in a value greater than or equal to 3. Oh, that was less than. I'm doing great. Greater than or equal to 3. And then sort by EDH rank. Let's see what we got. Beast Within, yeah, good card. Oh yeah, that's right. Imprisoned in the Moon. Imprisoned in the Moon. And then we could also do... Aetherize isn't bad. What about Druid of Purification? Yeah, that'll work. Hey, kitty kitty. Yeah. I think I might get evacuation here. Just because that can be really good. Bounces everything. Yeah, I like that. I like having the instance here because you need to be able to just interrupt or interact with a combo. Return all creature tokens to their owner's hands. Return all non-token creatures to their owner's hands. That's kind of funny, but I don't I don't think it's that amazing here. Oh, Kitty's playing with a mouse. A classic. Okay. Enters truce 2. Not worried about that. I can search by instance. Ooh, sludge monster. I kinda like it. I do kinda like that. But maybe not enough. Because if they just remove it, then it did nothing. Okay. Yeah, we'll not worry about that. Return all non-creature non-land permanents to their owner's hands. So that just hits like artifacts and enchantments and stuff like that. Just doesn't hit creatures. And I'm not sure how to feel about that. I think probably no. Yeah, I think probably no. Exile target artifact or enchantment. Put X/1/1 counters on target creature you control, where X is the mana value. That's cute. That's neat. What if we pivot into a sea monster tribal thing? I think no. I think that's a little too far. Because that's still also only sorcery speed. Return target spell or non-land permanent an opponent controls to its owner's hand. You may cast an instant or sorcery spell with equal or lesser mana value. No. That's not good. Dang. Tap 4 untapped creatures you control, destroy target. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. I love this guy. In a token deck? Yeah, for sure. I'll add it. Disorienting choice. Uh, yes, because we care about lands. It does suck that it gives them the option, but I think it's fine either way. Because even just 4 mana, go get a land or two is not bad. Or like 4 mana, exile 3 things um, is also, it's also not bad. Pretty good. Enters, destroy all creatures with flying. Ixidron. I think no. Target player returns each commander they control from the battlefield to the command zone. Okay. Choose your weapon can be pretty funny with the Realm Seekers for a one-shot. Combat tricks are just really good in general for stuff like that. But we're not really in the colors to be supporting more combat tricks. And I don't think it works enough of the time. It kind of feels like win more a little bit here. So I think no. Yeah, probably no here. Okay, let's shave some stuff real fast. So if we shave these for Karuga, another removal engine, some removal. Disorienting choice. I think I'll put this under removal and game plan. I like it a lot. What are some other cards like Wilderness Reclamation? It's probably going to pop up Seedborn. Yeah. Beginning of each player's upkeep, untap all creatures and lands. Yikes. Good card, but $6 is a lot. Alright. Wilderness Reclamation is probably like the only good one there. Return target permanent to its owner's hand, Storm. I don't think Storm's gonna be that high. Realistically. Okay. This video is almost 2 hours already. That's that's crazy. I mean, it's unedited. You can just throw it on whenever you're going to sleep or something like that. That's perfectly fine. Supplant form. Bounce and make a token that's a copy of it. Okay, let's trim some of the expensive money cards. Seasons Past can go. Blatant Thievery can go. Yeah, I think Progenitor Mimic can go. Fade from History, sure. And just like that, we shaved like $5. Cool. If I just do type instant. Now, I don't know. I kind of like looking through all these because then I get to see other like removal engines and stuff like that. Other good cards that I just looked over in the past. Like for instance, like Dare's Tolarian Contempt, which is a bonkers card. Ones that I may have forgotten about. Okay. We're also not running counter spells. It's very interesting. Okay, I think we're getting about to the point where I'm okay with just searching by instant. Okay. Do we want Aetherize? Probably not. I don't I don't think so. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into their library, then draws 7. Aether Spouts, I feel like, is better than Aetherize, because it also stunts their draws. But I'm not sure I necessarily want to be on either here. Return target non-land permanent you don't control to its owner's hand. Whenever you cast a colorless spell with mana value 7 or greater, you may exile it from your graveyard. But I'm not going to be doing that, so it's literally just 3 mana, bounce on non-land permanent I don't control. 3 mana, which means it fits within Karuga. Return target. Creature planes. Target player shuffles up to 3 target cards from their grave into their library with 2/1/1 counters. What if I buffed the salamanders? If I go to something like this. Thunderfoot Baloth's pretty sick. I think I like that. We just have to be careful, because if we run too many strong effects like this, and people know about it, they're going to fear the tokens, and they're going to fear the commander, and they're going to start killing the commander, and we don't want that. I'm even a little bit hesitant to put Thunderfoot Baloth in here, because we want to be getting the tokens, and we want to be accruing this value, but we do not want to be on anyone's radar. We kind of want to just be sitting back, hitting our land drop for turn, and accruing passive value, while everyone else dukes it out, and we just remove the things that need to be removed. Yeah. Still need 7 more cards. That's crazy. We don't... maybe we do need a little bit more card advantage. It's looking a little bare. But we literally have Karuga, so I'm not that worried about it. Ooh, there's Shadow of the Second Sun. Right? $1.15. I think that's worth it. Because we can put that. We can do untap and or mana and draw. I like that. Yeah. Let's look at some other lists real fast, because I know I run it in my my Zedru list. Where is Zedru? Did I throw it in here for some reason? That doesn't seem right. Zedru top loader. Cool. Whenever you gain life, draw that many cards. Nope, that's Zedru exclusive. Stealth damage, draw that many cards. This can be big, but I'm not too convinced on it. Exchange control of target artifact or creature you control and target artifact. Oh yeah, I probably should have checked out this list. Let's do trade the helm. our opponents are going to be in quite a predicament because do they play out their good stuff and let it get stolen, or do they sandbag it and then just not play it? Which, in that case, I mean, they're just not playing their good things, which is not bad. Enters gain, or when it attacks, gain control of target permanent you own but don't control. When it's turned face up, target opponent you control, or gains control of any number of target permanents you control. Oh, sorry, that's a Cedric exclusive. I don't need to look at that. Okay. Imprisoned in the Moon, good card. It's in here now. Foil's kind of funny. Not gonna do that though. Mirror Hall Mimic, Wonder. Each non-green creature's controller may pay an additional 2 during his or her upkeep to untap that creature. So this stunts untaps for creatures. Funny. I don't think I'm gonna do it though. Homunculus Horde. Do we draw that much? I don't think so. It does feed Karuga like crazy though. Okay. That's fine. What are some other lists I've built recently? Board wipes, Karametra. I don't think that has anything worthwhile. Oh yeah, let me look at the Rocco Toolbox deck. That would be a good one to look at while I'm here. Okay, yeah, this one's running 45 lands. Man, I wish I had red. Okay. Hour of Promise. That's not bad. Titania's Command. What if we run Tron? You know what? I'm not against it. I'm not against it. And Tron is really fun. Like, as just like a player to like assemble Tron and be like, I did it. I think that's pretty fun. Yeah, we can run some land tutors. Um, they're not as good in this list because we're not running the thing that can give double strike. But we can, at worst, still go get Rogue's Passage or a draw engine or Alchemist Refuge. Alchemist Refuge is a pretty good card. Let's see if there's any other good on basics other than Tron. ID. Oh wait, I can just do this. Type land minus type basic minus O search because I want to filter out all of the ones that just like search for a basic land. Oh. Oh yeah. Whatever. We got proliferate. That's pretty good. Da -da. Thespian stage, I don't think really matters. We got Tron there. How much is Dark Depths? 129? Wait, we can do Dark Depths Thespian stage? That's awesome! Okay, here we go. Dark Depths can go in game plan. That's not a real land. This can go in game plan lands. And then we can do Urza's power plant, Urza's tower, Urza's mine. Cool. So, oh, that's not an accurate price. There we go. Throw these in lands. Oh, yeah, that's right. We can't run Sylvan Scrying. Or Nilee's Intervention. Forgot, but that's fine. Titania's Command. I will put this under game plan because that's basically what it is. Reap and Sow. Yeah. I like Hour of Promise. That one's definitely going under game plan because we can get both halves of Dark Depths, Thespian Stage with that. Which I think improves our consistency a little bit as far as trying to get a way to kill, a way to actually close out the game. Reap and Sow, I think this is fine to keep. Yeah, it's also only 23 cents. Trade the Helm. This can go under the Clones Theft Exchange. Speaking of which, we can remove some stuff. I think I'll remove the Djinn. 6 mana, and it doesn't even immediately switch stuff is kind of precarious. We do have to cut some lands. 1, 2. We could sit at 46. I know it's a little high, but I mean we've got like Karuga to draw cards and but this could kind of flood us a little bit. I'll drop down to 44. Drop down to 44. We'll also cut some more stuff for budget. Okay. Let's see. We could cut Chameleon. I'm not sure I want to though. I kind of like the idea of copying Gor Muldrak with Chameleon. And it's only $1. Kind of worth keeping. Man, this Dark Depths is actually taking up a little bit more budget than I wanted it to. But Merit Lage is awesome. And we can do some funny stuff with Timeless Witness. So I think we keep it. Shadow of the Second Sun is amazing with Alchemist Refuge, which I think is probably going to be our first tutor target a lot of the time. If we're sticking with this sub-theme to where we do stuff on other people's turns as well. Which I don't think is bad, because we can still just even activate lands to draw cards, like, and drawing cards is good. We just need time for everything, and I'm pretty sure with how much removal we've got time. So that's fine. Yeah, we can do the Thespian stage Dark Depths thing. That's good. Um, and I think this kind of solves my need for a game plan. I don't need to get like Maze's End or anything like that. That's a little much. I feel. That could be a fun budget deck. I can work on a Maze's End deck. That would be cool. One that's not a combo deck, but just actually factually playing gates, ramping gates. That could be funny. Yeah. So we've got. Ooh, let's cut this one because these are kind of expensive. We could sit at 42. Just because of how mana hungry this is, I kind of like the idea of sitting at 44. Okay, let's see what else there was. There's not much more. Like there's removal and stuff like that, which is good, but not much else. Let's look at this. What kinds of combat tricks and stuff do we have? Any cards that are worth? Whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell, it fights up to one target creature you don't control. No, I'm not really doing that. Boon of Besage. No. Karuga. I know Karuga, like, massively changes things, and arguably it's probably for the worse. I admit that Karuga probably doesn't make the deck overall better, and it could be more lean. However, I think it's a really fun deck building restriction to add in Karuga and see if I can make it work anyways. And I think so far it's looking like a yes. Tyrite Sanctum is money. That's a lot of money, over $2 right now. Bonkers. Let's see what we got in here. Da -da. Lands, ramp. Back to Sereth. Instants and sorceries you control can't be countered. Oh yeah, that's funny for protection stuff. Do we ever use Vivian? I don't think so. You may sacrifice a creature. If you do, search your library for a creature or basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Oh, yeah, that's good. Huntsman's Redemption. Yeah, we'll take it. This will go into cards, because it's a tutor. Rukthar. Oh, not that. There we go. Okay. I do kind of like the idea of having some life gain, or something of that matter. Actually, let's look at Mana Gorge or Hydra and see if we can find anything else that's pretty close to it. A Forgotten Ancient. That's how could I forget? Probably because it's in the name. Yeah. That's good. Whenever one or more 1/1 counters are put on another, you put a 1/1 on this creature. Meh, that's mid. Okay, what about... Isn't there an enchantment that does that? Type enchantment... Hydra's Growth. I think it's called Hydra's Growth. $1? Ah, yikes. I'm good. Kinda crazy, like, hearing that. But, budget brewers, man. We gotta do what we gotta do. Flesh Monarchy. This is a little bit of a flash deck, so... because of Alchemist Retrieval. So that means we could flash out um, strong things on other people's turns. Creatures can attack a player unless that player casts a spell or put a non-token permanent onto the battlefield during their turn. I think that's actually sick. Once per turn, you may pay 0 rather than pay the mana cost of a spell you cast with mana value X or less, where X is the number of time counters on as foretold. Good card, but I think that considering we don't run 1 or 2 drops, I don't think it's worth it. At least not in this deck because of Karuga. Dawnglade Regent is a good card. I might do this. I'm thinking Arborea here though. Because we can use Arborea and Alchemist's Refuge to like fog ourselves eternally, basically. Okay. We gotta find some more budget to cut. I don't really want to hit the mana base anymore. So we gotta look elsewhere. Return of the Wild Speaker. Very good card when we've got like the big guys, the big dudes. I could cut Thunderfoot Baloth. I kind of like the idea of this. Because like I said, we kind of want to keep the salamanders low on the radar. We don't want people like concerned about salamanders. we don't want them removing our commander. And you may be wondering like why we'd want to keep the commander and make these salamanders if they're not doing anything, and especially if there's the argument that we could be possibly giving our opponent some. However, because we can exchange them and play around them with other things like what's it called? Azuri's Predation, things like that. I think I'd much rather have the salamanders like protect us and help whittle down other people's life totals. And this does mean that like if someone is problematic, we can convince the whole table to just gang up on them because we've been giving out power, right? So if someone starts pulling ahead, there's at least power on the board to throw at them. And sure, they may be able to trade with the first player, but then the other two, like, they just swing in. Like, that's good. So I like the idea of just having the salamanders be like a passive thing. I really, really don't want to be recasting the commander because I don't think it's worth it at 5 mana to replay Gor Muldrak. He's not good enough in my opinion. Um, I think this is a good Court of Bounty deck. Is Court of Bounty actually $2 though? It's $1. Yikes. It's $1 if you get it foil. Brings out the Monarchy as well, which is its own thing. Control magic, only 4 mana. That's pretty good. This was the thing where it turned everything into Gor Muldrak. Or something else. It can turn them into other things as well. So we could, for instance, get like a whole bunch of Ulvenwald Hydras or something. Um, it's not the best thing in the world, but I'm not. I think just for flavor wins and the fact that it's a fun card, we'll keep it in. And by I guess maybe not flavor wins, but like as far as staying thematic to the deck and the intent that the creator or the commissioner had for it, I think I want to keep this in. Okay. We'll hmm, we can cut Corrupted Conscience, but I think I don't want to because we can actually Corrupted Conscience on a like Managorger Hydra and then just swing in and kill people. And especially if we go get Rogue's Passage. This deck is very modular. I like it. I like the fact that you can pivot if you need to, and you have the ability to make choices. I don't like it when decks are very linear. You can only make one choice, and that's do I cast this spell or do I not cast this spell? It doesn't, like, they're generally not that fun to play because it's a lot of just do or don't do. Whereas I like the ability to be like, I have so many things in my library that I can kind of play to this exact situation. Kind of along the lines of where like knowledge is power, right? Because I know what my opponent's deck is, I know what's on the field, and I know how this game is going to go. I can go get the best thing in my deck to serve me in this scenario. So I think it's good. No Mage Shepherd. Maybe I cut this just because it taps down all of my dudes. Um, yeah, we'll cut it just because it taps everything, and I kind of want to keep them up. Um, Arborea. I'm not even sure how to tag this. I'd probably tag it as like self-preservation or something like that, but um, yeah, I don't know here. It's the only card in that category. I could bump up to 45 lands and then put a little bit of money into the mana base. I kinda like that idea. Yeah, let's try it. I have 15 cents. Okay. Um, let's see. Do we have Exotic Orchard? Oh, that's 13 cents. Whoop. Oh, now I'm 3 cents over budget? What? Oh, okay. Now there we go. So let's look. We're about 50-50. That's crazy. So we can just kind of keep the mana base. Alright, now that we're in budget, I'm gonna update to preferred just because I like the looks of these lanes. Wait, did that actually change what this opening hand was? It did. That's crazy. Okay. So deal a hand. That's two pieces of Tron and Alchemist's Refuge in the same hand. We don't have green though. Ooh, I kind of want to see how this plays out. Because with 40 something lands, at worst we can just play Karuga, draw, island, draw. There we go, never punished. We did have 3 turns to be able to draw a green mana source. Um, so it's not that unlikely. I think we sandbag these a little bit, at least until later on. But this is like all of our utility lands in one hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, turn 1, draw. Command tower. Draw exotic orchard. People don't really do that much on turn 1 and 2. They might play like a rock or something. So I'm not that worried about missing out on turn 1 and 2. Um, I do kind of want to see what's in Karuga usually. Colors, blue, green, or at most. At most. Okay, let's see. Oh, I guess there's Search for Tomorrow and Rift Sower and stuff like that. Is that even that good though? Because you're still, I guess you get 4 mana on turn 3. Hmm, nah, whatever. Uh, oh yeah. Draw. Land this guy. Make a token. Uh, this deck has so many tokens. Next turn, draw. See, we're hitting the land drops. That's for sure, and that's very good. Um, it's kind of funny that I might even just Amphin Mutineer here. Uh, yeah. I mean, that's good. Hit something. Um, give him a salamander. I'm not that concerned actually with giving other people salamanders because we have protection from them. Uh, next turn. Uh, land. We have removal or yeah, basically we'd probably throw down, I feel like, Druid of Purification. Um yeah. We're not going to be making that many salamanders ourselves, I feel like, at least to start in this hand, but that's okay. Draw. This is a 2-land hand. We don't count this as a land. This is a no. We would keep this. Draw. Land. Draw. Sure. Land. Draw. We'll draw a forest. Or island, I guess. It doesn't matter that much. Uh, tap 3. Cast out Gor Muldrak. End step, probably make a token. If not, then we probably just Fierce Empath here. Like if we're not gonna make a token, we probably just Fierce Empath. Um, which is kind of likely because I feel like on turn 3 people probably aren't uh like not everyone is gonna have something out. I'm not too sure though. It very heavily depends on the pod. Next turn. Drawing lots of forests, but that's fine. We can do Reap and Sow and Hour of Promise, and then we get Tron. I think I like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, Reap and Sow, and because we're not committing to the board, we can we can still make salamanders. End turn, make a salamander. Next turn, forest. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4, 5. It doesn't really matter. Hour of Promise. We can pretend that we're holding up something. Um, Urza's Tower. And for the record, if anyone tries to call out the fact that you have Karuga and you cannot be holding up anything, you can point out the fact that things like Colossal Sky Turtle exist and use that as a leverage piece. Don't let them just immediately say you do not have anything because you probably don't, but realistically, you could. And as long as you can play to possibilities, it can sow enough doubt that it might be able to dissuade certain decisions that would be disadvantageous for them to make. So just keep that in mind. Next turn, draw. See, Archer of Araska. This is really good because we can start drawing with our Tron, which is sick. Uh, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we've got this turned on. Sweet. We could tap this, go get that, go get what's his name? Realm Seekers. To hand, please. Okay. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Um, we'll play Realm Seekers. This is at least 4 power, but odds are it is significantly larger. If we assume our opponents also have about 4 cards in hand, then this is 16, 16. Like, this thing is just massive. It's amazing. And then we actually don't have enough mana to activate the Arch of Orazca right now. We only have 3. But we can either activate Realm Seekers and go get Rogue's Passage, or we can play this, which makes us a 3/3, then we can sack something, go get a creature. Like, we're kind of just winning here. And like, we don't have to worry about our commander making other people's salamanders. Um, because we have protection from the salamanders and they can help us feed other things. Like, I think this is good. I think this deck works. 1, 2, 3. No green mana. I don't like this. There's only 1 pip. Um yeah, I'm gonna mulligan that. 3, little bit of a slower start, but Wilderness Reclamation and Mariposa. We'll keep it. Draw, land, next turn. Land, next turn. Uh, we'll we'll play the Mariposa in case there's a wheel or something like that. And then we'll play Gor Muldrak, make the Salamander, and then next turn. Forest. Wilderness Reclamation? Maybe not. We don't have enough mana to actually use it right now. I think I'd rather actually just play Hilda's Crown of Winter. Tap 1, 2, 3. I can still hold up tapping something down, which isn't bad. We'd actually end up holding up like an island or a forest or something like that to bluff something. Um, I feel like you can get away with probably bluffing with an island more because there's gotta be like 1 mana uh counter spells or something like that. But you play Hilda's Crown of Winter, yeah. And then you tap something down, you can swing in if you want. Um all of this is very hypothetical, but you need to be playing politics with this deck. You basically need to um you convince people to swing in with the salamanders at each other. Um and don't be afraid to have them trade or something like that with other salamanders, like because if your commander gets removed, the salamanders are suddenly scary to you, and we don't want that. And we want to be the arbiter of the table and kind of convince other people to gang up on someone else at like all points in the game. So, for instance, if there's an Dragon player, right? What we're gonna do is we're going to convince everyone that's not the Dragon player swing into the Dragon player. Because the Dragon player is going to win in the end game, and we're not really going to be able to stop that snowball. So we have to kill them and stop them from doing their thing. So we give everyone salamanders, and then we convince them, hey, they can only block with one thing. Um, let's gang up on them with the rest. And people are probably going to be making decisions to not commit to the field as much to be able to get salamanders as well, and we can use that to our advantage. We have to play the politic game. Um, we have to convince them that like, hey, this is what we need to do. There's a control player. We need to take him out. I'll give you power. Let's do this. Um, and by doing that, you kind of point the attention elsewhere, right? They already can't do anything to you with the salamanders, but this kind of like focuses their attention elsewhere anyways. They're already going to be less inclined to look at you as threatening because they can't do anything about you with the resources you are giving them. And it kind of dilutes their decisions to where they are going to be looking at the salamanders as maybe a tenth of their board state or something like that. And that's a tenth of their resources or damage or something like that, right? And so because of that, they're going to be less inclined to view you as the target anyways, just because they can't do anything about you with the resources, with like a percentage of the resources that they have. So it is kind of good to also then use that to your advantage and convince them to attack other players and like view other people as the threat, right? We don't want to be viewed as the threat in this deck until we are ready to start killing people with Realm Seekers or Merit Lage or something like that. So we kind of need the attention off of us. Um, and the weird thing is, like, if people do focus us down, then they're just gonna kind of lose to other people, right? Because everyone is gunning to win the game. So if they focus us down and kill us when we're not set up and doing anything, they're committing resources to stopping someone who isn't the issue yet. And then someone else is going to come in and kill them because they commit their resources to doing that. Um, so the best thing we can do is basically just convince, don't say I'm not the threat, say that person is scary or that thing is scary. Because if you say I am not the threat, you are the subject of the sentence. You are the thing that people are going to be thinking about in that statement, right? They aren't going to be thinking about other people because they're going to be thinking about you. Is this statement true? Are you scary? Um so it's better to be like, that is scary, that person is scary, rather than I am not scary. Focus other people's attention elsewhere, and things should be just fine. Um, this commander doesn't want attention paid to it, and it should be completely fine. Um, as long as attention isn't paid to it, and I think that you can do that pretty easily. And you, as in anyone who watches this video, if you decide to play this deck, whatever. Um, it also runs a good amount of removal because we have the gain control of stuff, we have the exchange control of stuff, as well as just the normal like removal package, right? I would say in this deck, the instant speed removal is a little bit light. Um, I would recommend holding on to it as long as you can. And hitting something you are sure is the most opportune thing to hit, right? Oblivion Stone, you play it, and then afterwards, it's basically an instant. So I like this. Same thing with Nev's Disc. They are permanents, and we just kind of hope they don't get targeted for removal. Because then someone forces us to blow it up or lose it. Um, other than that, I like this deck. Um, I will be giving it to the person that commissioned it. It is 2410, it looks like. Which is actually a little bit under budget. We might, you know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and add some more lands in here, real fast. Type land. Um, you know what? I'll go to EDH Rec real fast. I'll see if we can get the filter land. Okay, yeah, get overflowing basin in here, and what's some other stuff we got? Gor Muldrak. Okay. Lands. Command tower, got it. Hinterland, yeah, we got it. We can add back Yavimaya Coast. Let's do that. Move to main deck. Waterlogged Grove. We do not have the budget for that. I think we're on Flooded Grove, right? Close that. Yes. Okay. Summit Growth Chamber, of course we're on that one. That's $6. Overflowing Basin, I love filter lands. So good. Yeah, we can run Tropical Island. Alright. Enters tapped. Sacrifice it, create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, except it enters with an additional 1/1 counter on it. Activate only as a sorcery. Oh, this is sick! Lajara. Was it Mirror Lake? Was it? Yeah. That kind of fits the theme. Um, we'll replace it for an island. What other lands are there that are good? We don't want these tap lands. You know what? Here's what we'll do. We'll go to Scryfall, type land. We'll do this again. We'll do 0.5. We're on exotic. Path of Ancestry. Why didn't I think of that? It enters tapped, but even just casting your commander gives you a scry. And this happens even in the later game. I've not really been hurt by running a Path of Ancestry, so I think it's probably good. I like it. How much is Moss Warp Bridge? 20 cents. I saw one for 17. Let's see. Can we fit it in? 14 cents. Did I misspell it? Moss Wart. Okay. 15. No, 1 cent over budget. Okay. Darn. Nesting Grounds is interesting. We could get Field of Ruin. Blow up a land. If we need to. I think I need more colors, though. I don't want more utility right now. Because our tolerance is a lot lower since we added in Tron. Okay. Oh, yeah, Aether Hub. That's right. Aether Hub, it's only one time. Any color, but it enters untapped, which is pretty valuable. Obviously it's not going to be as good as some of the other lands that just tap for green or blue, but it's another good one that's within budget. And keep in mind, this is a $25 budget deck. This isn't like uh we have limitations in the cards that we can run. How much left do I have? Added Ether Hub. Wait, did I have 24 cents before Ether Hub? Did I just completely goof the math? I did it again. Mosswort Bridge. Okay, I did. So we can run it. Awesome. I think I'd rather Mosswort Bridge here than Ether Hub. Because Hideaway's pretty good when our CMC is so high. We kind of get to just throw out something big. And the fact that it only needs 10 power is very achievable when our commander can help us do that. Very achievable. Are we on the temple? We are. Okay. I think I'm probably going to be done monkeying with it after I get these in here. Remove one. Remove one. Because if we do 0.09, then we're kind of just left with bad lands. I mean, I guess there's Hidden Nursery, but Discover 4 is like not amazing. I'm not thrilled to have it. I don't want to tap land for it. Okay, what if I remove -0 tapped? Does this just remove all of them? Surely not. Okay. All the colored ones. Okay. So yeah, we're good for now. I'm not gonna hyper obsess that far, but I do think it will work. That's crazy that neither of these hands had colors. I still think I might keep this one because it's got Hilda's crown. You know what? Yeah, let's try it. Draw. There's a color. Draw. There's a color. Draw. There's another one. uh, and the plan was Hilda's Crown of Winter is an insane draw piece. That I would find colors. I'm not concerned with it, especially considering how many lands we're running. Yeah, I'm happy with this. Um, let's make that public. I will copy it and send it over. Thank you guys for watching. I know this has been a very long video. It is nearly 3 hours long. Um, yeah, thank you for joining me in this deck building process, as this took a while. But I did it. We built around a very weird commander today, and I'm happy with the result. I think this is going to perform in games for under $25, and you have tons of options. I hope you guys have a good rest of your days, and please join the Discord. We love it when new people arrive and banter with us. It's a ton of fun. Go watch one of these videos. Bye.